Welcome back to the search for the perfect pitch, and that search has led me up the side of this mountain. I was hoping when I was down there that there'd be a nice little flat spot here for me to pitch my tent looking out to that, but unfortunately I don't know if you can tell, but it's on a right slope, which means I've got to get all the way back down there, which is very steep, and I've got an hour until it gets dark. Welcome back. It's good to be back though, back in the wide open spaces again after being cooped up all day and most of this week in a little box. And this is a two-nighter, so I'm looking forward to just forgetting my worries and disappearing off into the mountains for a couple of days. Anyway, I've got to get back down there, which I came up on my hands and knees and find a spot somewhere. Gives you a bit of an idea. It'd have been no good anyway because there's a farm there. Right, wish me luck. Well, that was a bit hectic. I managed to get down that right steep slope, and then I was sort of running around on the side of these hills, proper gassing out, and then I thought, well, maybe I just go up and hopefully I'll get to like a flat spot on the mountain, but it just went up and up and up and there were no flat spots. I looked down and I noticed loads of ticks crawling up my legs. So I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? I looked at my arms, I had like 4 or 5 ticks on my arm, but luckily I managed to just flick them off because they hadn't sort of buried in, whatever the word, sort of latched on yet. So I managed to find this spot, get the tent up right quick, because over there was looking really, really dark, like it was going to be a storm. It started blowing a bit as well. Anyway, I got the tent up, I whipped my top off on I whipped my top off here, and I was just looking for ticks everywhere. I'm a bit paranoid because I've had so many of them. I hate the little buggers. Anyway, this is the spot. So after all that running about and nearly giving up and thinking, oh, sod the views, I'm just gonna go down in bottom at valley down there somewhere flat, I thought, no, we need the views for viewers. So luckily I sort of slogged it up here, and luckily there's just this little bald patch on there, little flat bald patch, perfect for Illeberg. Don't look it, but that's proper steep, that. Got a lovely view at mountains, or down into that valley. I can see right across to Crummock Water. Look at that, I know some names. The reason that I don't usually say where I am is because even though I haven't got many subscribers, talking about the places where you've pitched leads to hundreds and hundreds of people like going to the same spot, and it gets like overused. And sometimes there's idiots that come and just trash the place. They don't take the rubbish or even the tent home sometimes. That's why I don't say exactly where I am, even though it could probably lead to a few more views if I put it in the title. But if anyone finds this spot from me saying that that's Crummock Water, there's no chance. Anyway, enough about that, let's have a look inside the tent. I've got it zipped up because, like I said, I'm paranoid about ticks and that, so I don't want them getting into my sleeping bag and stuff. So for tonight, we've got 4 of those and 1 big hitter, Northern Monk, Faith in the Tropics. It's alright, is that one? I've got some quite unusual beers for tomorrow, but I'll talk to you about tomorrow in a sec. So tonight I'm testing out my new sleeping bag finally. The Sierra Designs Cloud 20 degree. It's a nice looking bag. And it's the one with the zipperless design. So it's like a sleeping bag quilt hybrid. You just sort of tuck that round yourself. And there's like a little vent at the bottom where you can put your feet out of the bottom of the sleeping bag if you want, and then just tuck them back in. I've brought the tried and true memory foam pillow. Never leave home without it. I've got some warm clothes in there, just a hat, gloves, leggings, long sleeve top. I've got a little treat for later. All my electricals. And as usual, the O bulb from Olight. So yeah, that's the setup. It's actually worked out really well, this is a brilliant spot actually. Believe it or not, this is pretty tame compared to what I've got planned for tomorrow. And I've had my eye on something for a while now. So tomorrow I'm on a mission to find it, and it's going to be a bit of a challenge for me as well. Probably be quite funny for you guys. But anyway, thanks for tuning in again. Cheers guys. That's empty, mate. Let's do this properly. Can't cheers you with an empty drink, can I? Cheers guys, really appreciate the subscribers that do tune in every time I put a video up. And I know I don't put videos up very often, but that's the thing with this sort of niche. I can't just drop everything and disappear up into the mountains. It took me 3 hours to get here today. So I can't really be doing that multiple times a week. A couple of people have suggested, namely Theo Kane from Slimehouse TV. It's a great channel, you should definitely check it out. His advice to me to get my channel to grow was he said basically the key is weekly uploads. And he suggested, why don't you just talk about camping or talk about gear or something. Maybe I could just do 1 video a week talking about, I don't know, the gear that I use every time I come, or the stuff that I've had for a long time, like multiple years, instead of just opening a packet and reviewing it. Do a proper long-term review on everything that I use, clothes, boots, tents. I've had that tent for a while now, and I haven't actually done a review on it because there's that many of them out there. So I might trial it, see if I can actually manage with 1 video a week. Getting eaten alive by midges right up here, because I do want this channel to grow. Like, I really enjoy doing this, and it's quite demoralizing when you see how slow it is to gain subscribers and views and stuff. Like, I've been doing it, I think I've been doing it 2 years, something like that, maybe 3 years, and I've still only got like 700 subscribers. So it's really slow going, but yeah, I suppose good things take time, don't they? But it's cool. I really enjoy doing this, and like now, this is killing time for me because there's nothing to do, there's no one to talk to, so I quite enjoy talking to you. And also, like, to get a little bit deep, my nana used to love walking and the outdoors and David Attenborough and all that sort of stuff, and she would have absolutely loved to see these videos that I'm making now, and I wish she could have seen them, because I think she'd have just loved it. But also, it's just a little, you know, if something happens to me, at least I know there's a few little bits of footage of me out enjoying myself and sort of living my life as full as I can. And yeah, I've definitely had a beer. Getting all emo on you. Right, let's turn this off now. I wonder if midges like cigar smoke, because something tells me they probably won't, and I do. Let's blaze one up, shall we? Can you even see them all? I've got like loads of them crawling all over my hand. Look at this. Thank God they aren't ticks though. Some of them probably are, knowing my luck. So, ticks, to give you an idea of the sort of thing you're looking for, they can be absolutely tiny, such as, and there, ticks as well. These ones are really, really small, like the size of a poppy seed, but it's always best to get them off. Something tells me I'm going to be covered in them. So I highly recommend you buy yourself some of these tick keys. You get 3 different sizes in a pack on Amazon for like £2 or something, and I've had to use these more times than I can remember now. Looks so relaxing, right? First thing I saw as soon as I opened my eyes, it's like a horror movie. They're all clawing at the door trying to get in. Morning guys. So I spent this morning watching ticks crawling all over inside at tent, picking them out of my boxers, got a few more off my arms. They're just everywhere, man. And the place I'm going today is only just round the corner, so it's going to be just as bad. To be honest, I'm over it. I've had enough. It's going to rain all day today into tomorrow, and the whole place is just crawling in ticks. So, as I say, I'm over it really. I'm going to pack up and everything, make my way back to the car. I'll get some breakfast and I'll think about what I'm going to do. This video might be cut short. I might just go home, order a pizza and put a film on and sit in comfort instead of spending the whole day in the pissing down rain covered in ticks. The thing that I said last night that I'd had my eye on for a while is a wild swimming spot. It's like a really cool infinity pool, but when it's weather like this, I'm not really feeling that. I was going to go high for the camp and there's not going to be any views or anything, so it all seems a bit pointless really. At this point, when you sat in the tent thinking, I just want to go home, it's not worth it, is it? Like, at this point, I would literally just be doing it for a YouTube video. And if I'm not enjoying myself, what's the point? Anyway, we'll see how I feel when I've got a full English breakfast in front of me. Right, let's go get some breakfast, see how we feel. I might have let you down, but I'm still putting effort in. You gotta give me that. There you go, that's what I walked up last night. Up that bit and then over there. What would you do? Leave it in the comments. Would you be heading home or heading for another night? Sacked it off, didn't I? I drove to the next spot that I was planning on camping and looked up at the mountain, and all the top of the mountain were just clagged in with clouds and that. It was chucking it down like all day, and I just thought, do you know what? I'm done. But I think this is the first time I've let you down and cut a trip short, so my first bail. I'll put that in thumbnail. Alone on Tick Mountain. So I'm sorry to let you down. I owe you one wild swim and one summit camp. I'm sure I can manage that at some point. I had originally planned to take the new tent that Nightcat have just given me, which is the Taji 2 by 3FUL Gear. But just before I left, I saw a video by the Outdoor Gear Review saying that it leaks above the vents if you don't seam seal it first. So I'll get it seam sealed and we'll take it out and get some use out of it. But also for this one, I was planning on going high, and the place where I ended up was quite exposed, and I've seen what wind can do to this tent as well, so I figured it was probably better to take the Hilleberg solo. By the way, the sleeping bag, the Sierra Designs Cloud 20, performed really well on this trip. I'm not going to review it just yet, it's far too soon, but I did wake up and I was boiling, and I stuck my feet out of that bottom bit and I was like, yeah, this is it. Really comfortable, really warm. It wasn't a cold night, so I definitely need to take it out again and give it a proper test. And talking of reviews, if you'd like to see weekly uploads doing long-term gear reviews once a week, just to sort of space it out until I can get out on my next adventure, leave us a comment if you think that's a good idea or if you think it'd just be boring. Right guys, thanks for watching, thanks for sticking out to the end. I'll see you next time.